If you want to win some free PSN or Xbox gift cards, all you gotta do is be subscribed to my channel, drop a like on this video, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to turn on notifications. Also, Call of Duty points are in Infinite Warfare and Black Ops 3. If you want to get some free Call of Duty points, click that link down in the description, install the app, and start earning yourself some points today. Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin, and welcome back to another Call of Duty Black Ops 3 video. Now, today's video is going to be another episode of my How to Make Guns Overpowered in Black Ops 3 for a gun that I never got to do in the past, but this is a fairly popular gun in the game, and the main thing is that this is not a DLC weapon, so every single person has this gun, so most people should be interested in a class setup for this thing, because this gun has come to become a lot more popular recently after, at the start of the game and during its life cycle, it was a fairly popular gun, but then so many guns were nerfed that this gun now is like up near the top, and a lot of the LMGs in this game are really good. So this is the BRM, and this is a very popular LMG in Call of Duty Black Ops 3. The number 2 highest player on the leaderboards is actually a girl, and she is known for using this gun and a class setup with the BRM. She has like 100 days played and plays pretty much only with this gun, so that just shows you that this gun is very popular and that good players are using it. And I've never been the biggest fan of the BRM. I've usually been more of a fan of the Dingo because of its faster fire rate, but this gun is really consistent, and this gun is sort of your man of war of LMGs. Now, I did a lot of experimenting with different class setups. Well, before we get into that, guys, drop a like on this thing, guys. Let's go for 2,000 likes, of course, and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We're about to hit 675,000 subscribers, which is absolutely awesome, but I would appreciate if you guys could all drop a like on this thing, and of course, 2,000 likes would be amazing, and let's get into it and just start talking about this. So, I experimented with a lot of different class setups with different sights on this thing, with rapid fire, without rapid fire, with afterburner, or with flak jacket, and the gameplays that you'll see in this video are not with the exact class setup that I want, that I would say is the best to make it overpowered, because of course I was playing a lot and I was experimenting with different loadouts and different class setups. So this gun is very strong, however, it's very, very weak at close range, and that's its main downfall. Hipfire with this thing is not even imaginable. Like, you can't even attempt to hipfire because you will get absolutely destroyed. You will have 75 bullets before you have to reload. However, of course, the trade-off for that normally with LMGs is the reload time is super long, and on this thing, it's probably one of the most annoying, longest reload times. So when you have to reload, I 100% recommend just backing up completely and then taking your time to fully reload and then go back out there. But 75 bullets, you can literally get like 5 to 6 kills with this thing, no problem off of that. But let's talk a little bit about the class setup and what I came up with after my experimenting and testing out different things as the most overpowered one. So as far as the optic, it's either the red dot or the elo sight. I would prefer the elo sight on this thing, but of course that's personal preference. I don't really have any more reason why I prefer the elo sight. It's just what I liked after playing with both for a little bit. As far as the attachments, I like to run the 2 attachments on this thing. Number 1, I like to run stock. However, stock on LMGs really sucks. Like, without stock, it's kind of unplayable how slow it is, but even with stock, it seems super duper slow, and that's why, I need that stock. However, stock doesn't make it awesome like it does for an assault rifle, so it's kind of a lose-lose there. It's a catch-22. You don't want to use stock because it's not that good, but without stock, you literally have no strafing ability, so I just decided to throw on stock. And my second attachment would be, of course, quick draw. I experimented with rapid fire and different things like that, which did help, but I found that this is the best and most consistent class up, so I just run quick draw and I run stock basically as my 2 attachments. Now, I do run a secondary on this thing. I do run the RK5 simply because of what I was talking about earlier. This gun has no hip fire. It sucks at close range. It's made to be that thing that holds down objectives, that big tanky gun. That's of course what most LMGs are made for, but this one especially, this one embodies the traditional LMG, and that's why I have the RK5, simply so that if I need to push up into a building, if I need to, hip fire or someone's up near me, I just switch to that really quickly and spray it out. I'm sure you guys have all heard me say that many times for different sort of class setups. Now, the perk setup is what I had the most trouble coming up with, because I tested out different things, and what I actually came up with is kind of weird. I came up with Afterburner as the first perk, and this is for a multitude of reasons. It's going to take me a while to explain. So most people would think, oh, LMG or holding down objective, a flak jacket, of course, would be the go-to, but I straight up went with the Afterburner, and the reason for that is, like I said earlier, this gun is not as strong on the ground because number one, your movement is slow, and number two, the stock isn't very helpful. So I found that I was losing a lot of gunfights like that, and that I needed to have that afterburner to make me able to basically jump around and kill people in the air. And especially when people were approaching me at close range, I needed that extra time. So that's why I chose to run with afterburner. Kind of sucks not having flak jacket on this overpowered class, but you can sort of play around that. And of course, it depends on your playstyle. If you're someone that is just going to camp with the LMG, much like I do in the second gameplay, I think I just posted up, and that's why in the second one I had flak jacket. So it all comes down to your playstyle. However, afterburner is what worked best for me, and the reasoning is because it allows me to outplay more enemies, and I like having the ability to outplay. This gun doesn't have much of that. Afterburner adds a bit of that. As far as my perk 2s, Scavenger as well as Fast Hands. Fast Hands is pretty much needed on the slow gun, gun, and you need to switch to your secondary. You need to aim down sights fast. Fast Hands pretty much needed. Scavenger, just because I didn't want to run out of ammo. Scavenger, you know, of course, like I've talked about before, is if you want to go on big streaks, that's the best thing to run. And then as far as my third perk, you would think if you're running Afterburner, Blast Suppressor would accompany that. However, I just strictly went with the tac mask because I hate stun grenades and I hate flashbangs, and I find that you don't get naded too much in this game, but you can get stunned a lot, and especially like flak jacket, you have to give up afterburner. To put on tac mask, all you're giving up is blast suppressor. It's not an even trade, and that's why I find that tac mask on this gun just works out the best. Of course, that one is up to personal preference, but I'll show up on the screen right now the complete full class setup. You guys can see it. BRM, ELO, Quick Draw, Stock, RK5, Afterburner, Fast Hand, Scavenger, tac mask. This setup is super duper strong. The only downfall of it is you don't have fast mag, so those reloads are going to be slow, and you don't have flak jacket, so you have to watch out for grenades. Those are the only two downfalls, but on a gun like this, you can't really get the setup perfect because you're always going to have some sort of downfall. Either you don't have afterburner, or you don't have flak jacket, or you don't have a secondary, or stuff like that. It really all comes down to that. This is the class up that I found working, you know, pretty good for me, and making the adjustments when I would play a game and I'd be like, damn, I feel so damn slow with this thing. I feel like I suck at close range. I make the adjustments. That's usually how I come up with my overpowered class setups, and that's what I run. So as far as another thing I wanted to talk about, usually I don't talk about kill streaks and I don't talk about specialists when I do overpowered, but I thought for this one you might as well. What I found, and what the number 2 best or highest on the leaderboards Black Ops 3 player does, is she runs active camo most of the time, I believe, from what I've seen of her gameplays, and that's actually very, very smart, because having active camo works really well for this weapon because of that long reload time. A couple times I found myself reloading and an enemy came up to me and I was just screwed because I can't cancel reload because then I have 5 bullets and I have to literally hit every single one or I'm going to die. Of course, I can use the secondary. That's usually what I would tend to do in that situation, just flip to the secondary. But sometimes you don't have time for that. And active camo can just give you that extra protection and that extra stuff that you need to reload. And that's why I would recommend it on this thing. It also allows you to move in, like if you're holding down an objective and then you're getting overrun, active camo allows you to pop that. You can then back up and of course reload, or you can wrap around to another head glitch objective and hold that down, and that's why I would recommend active camo. Of course, scythe, combat focus, all that stuff is still really good, and that's just the normal stuff that I would use, but definitely having active camo can be something that benefits this gun, and that's why I would definitely put it up there. So hopefully you guys will give this class setup a try. The BRM, I don't think it's the best LMG, honestly, but I do think it is one that can be fairly consistent and can work for your playstyle. I personally prefer the Dingo over this one, as well as the 48 Dredge. Those are very powerful LMGs, but the BRM is a really awesome one, and of course people have been, there's a lot of hype around it right now, and it's something that is a consistent slayer, and you're not really gonna have to worry. Like holding down objectives, you're gonna be able to pick off 3 or 4 people, no problem with this gun, and be able to destroy people. So that's what I would definitely recommend with this thing. Of course, showing you some gameplay of the BRM now, and then the second gameplay was a bit of an older gameplay, but I wanted to show that one off because it was a really strong gameplay. Where the first gameplay I'm sort of running around a little bit more, getting more kills, and the second one I'm sort of sitting back and playing that traditional LMG playstyle, and both of them end up working super duper well. So I wanted to use that to showcase both of them. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys could drop drop a like on this thing. 2,000 likes would be absolutely awesome, of course. Subscribe for a cookie if you guys can. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Thank you guys for all the support, all the new subscribers. Let me know what other guns you want to see, how to make overpowered. And that's about it. I'm out. Peace.